Peace to my seers, y'all. So y'all know I've been on this meditation kick for about a week now. I finally got an opportunity to get some sleep and some rest because now the ancestors has finally was like, oh, I'm done. Now you get it. So let he who has an ear listen. All right. Because these has been some serious, severe visits that I've been getting and messages that I've been getting, right? I would not have been able to foresee myself here speaking about what I'm about to talk about, right? So let me get some things clear, all right? I don't control the divine. I don't control the power of the universe. I do not control the messages that come to me. I don't control who come to me, all right? But I'm going to tell y'all like this. I'm here to really talk about this dream I had last year that I had repeatedly that came back to me again this year. And it's about Mr. Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, all right? War broke out in that dream. And although I didn't take it lightly, I was refusing to go deeper into what the message was. But they like, nah, you ain't getting out of this. You gonna do this. You gonna look into this. So now that they forced me to look into it, all right, that dream I was in was about refuge. Was about me being in a safe place because war was breaking out, right? In this dream, we were at like a military base, but it was the U.S. military base, okay? But we was like somewhere in the capital of the region in a building. And there were the Nation of Islam was everywhere. I was there with Louis Farrakhan and his wife, and it was like I was their daughter or something, right? So all I know is one of the people that was with the Nation of Islam, people was dressed up in like army fatigue gear. It was a militant environment, put it that way. So one of Louis Farrakhan's people, the man kept looking out the window, right, to see what was going on. Next thing, all I heard was boom. So I got scared, of course. People started panicking. I got up and got ready to go, like, try to run. And Farrakhan was like, no. You sit down and just, everybody sit down and calm down, right? So I looked at his wife and she was just like sitting there like, So I looked at her and I got comforted by it. I was like, well, hell, if she ain't worried, hell, neither am I, And then I turned around and next thing you know, all I kept hearing was a bunch of bombs go off. It was just war. A war broke out. But the thing is, we were safe. And I started seeing like the whole camp of military. It was like they was overturning the U.S. base. They was overturning the U.S. kingdom. They was overturning it, y'all. I'm telling you, it was not a stone left upon a stone. And it was like all of a sudden, nobody seen it coming. So I've been delivering here to come to with these messages, and I tried to do it the way I normally do it. And they was like, no, you're not going to be lazy about this, because they were sending scriptures to me out of the Bible. So we know that the Bible is esoteric. It's hidden figures in the Bible. What they're doing is opening up those hidden figures so that the population of those that get across to this message can like really be able to digest it and see the meaning of it. That we know that a lot of this stuff is astral. It's really astrological. We know that, right? So we know we're living in a time where the end of the days are here, the last days. We are indeed in the last days, but it's not the way that we've been taught by religion, right? Religion, we know, is pretty much like God is science. God and science is synonymous. Religion was something that was created by businessmen. Those are two different things. So we're not going to talk about religion. Take religion out of this message, y'all, please. It does apply, but it's not the base of this message, because this will apply to you whether you are religious or not. I'm sorry, y'all. It'll be my incense that be choking the hell out of me when I be trying to talk. That's why I normally have tea. But today I was just like, let me just, So as I'm doing a spread on this reading, right, I got the moon that came out, and I didn't finish it because I came here on purpose before. The Ten of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, right? This definitely is going to be an event that's going to take a lot of people. It's not going to be something people are going to expect. All right. It's going to happen all of a sudden, because it's going to be time. A lot of people right now with this Ten of Wands and this Two of Pentacles, they don't want to believe that it's going to be some changes. Clearly, there's going to be some changes. Things are getting ready to go back to the way it's supposed to be. Eight of Cups, the former things have passed away. All right. They were really coming to me with a lot of the book of the Revelations, right? And I'm going to do a spread on this because as I was going into my Bible, because I was like, I'll just post the scriptures. The ancestors was like, no, you're not. You're going to get your Bible. You're going to go to the scriptures that we tell you to go to, and you're going to place these cards here, and you're going to read this stuff to them. All right. So they like, you're not going to do no lazy reading. When we tell you to deliver a message, you're going to deliver this message efficiently, young lady. All right. Hey, So anyway, the oracles. I feel like this is coming to me because the oracles are going to play a part in this somehow, the true oracles, and you can't make this up. This is the high priestess. The true oracles are going to have to seek refuge with the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam may start to seek refuge with the oracles. So for somehow those that are in tune with the astrological, you have the King of Cups here. And that's water energies. This is all intuitive. This is all intuition. All intuition and psychic abilities right here. Anything dealing with water is always going to deal with the deepest intuitive senses. And you have the moon here. So some people are very tapped into a lot of the hidden figures, the hidden codes, the esoteric knowledge. So I feel like these people are going to be drawn one way or the other to play a very big prophetic role in this, okay? Because we know that this stuff is all astrological. So now when it comes to deities, and I'm going to talk about this on the Talking Tarot show, I'm not going to get too much off into it here. But the deities, right? We know the deities are not like literal people, but they're energies. They're energies and principles of nature. And y'all, energy does talk to us. Energy has a language of its own. And the way that it translates to us is through the frequencies. This is why intuition is so important. Because if you're not in tune and intact with your intuition, you're not going to hear. And I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about figuratively. You're not going to hear. Therefore, you're not going to have the proper guidance. And it is what it is. All right. So deities can talk to us. They're not people. They're not humans. They're energies. So once we are in tune with our energy and we get that message and that frequency, that energy, that feeling comes over us, it then translates up the Kundalini, which of course we know what that is. It's connected to our senses, right? It goes to the left side of the brain because it has to have logic to it. It makes what we're feeling has to make sense to us. So we break it down and comprehend our feelings because we use the left side of our brain. Once we do that, it transfers over to the right side of the brain and it paints a picture. So it gives us a vision or a visual of what is being conveyed to us by the cosmos, by the energies, by the ancestors. They communicate. This is called psychic abilities. This is what this is all about. This is what psychic abilities and intuition is all about. This is how it works. All right. This is why we're able to see things that are hidden. This is why we're able to see things that past, present, and future. This is where all of that power comes from. Being in tune with these portals. We have more than 7 chakras. We have more than 6 senses. All of this stuff is connected. All right. So all of this is giving you the information of when people say, I had I heard a deity talk to me, or God spoke to me, or the ancestors are talking to me. All of that is based off of frequency. All right. It is a language of its own. It don't speak English. It don't speak Spanish. It don't speak none of it has a language of its own, and it works through the frequency of your vibration, of your energy, of your solar plexus, of that centerpiece that connects you to all of this, right? All this is activated. Once it's all activated, then you're able to paint a whole picture and get visions of things. This is how the psychic abilities work, right? So when I've had connections with deities, right? I was so against it because I was so busy fighting off Christianity and my trauma from that I wasn't open in my mind, all right? But that's been a breakthrough now. The ancestors was like, come here. Ow, we can't use you if you're going to be like that. So Allah, the deity, has been connecting to me. The problem I was having with it is it was a woman's voice. And I'm like, why am I hearing a woman's voice? So she kept saying her name was Aliat. And so my cousin came over one day, because I've been trying to find every Muslim I know, like, can you explain this to me? He broke it down a little bit. He said, Ishtar or Istarte. I'm like, wait a minute. So I looks it up. It did give me the definition, and it is all connected, like the Eastern Star and all of that type of stuff. So it made more sense to me why this deity was coming to me in a woman's voice. Because Aliyah is one and the same. It's a moon goddess, but it's also masculine and feminine, right? Because we know that energy has no gender, all right? And so it's a balance there. There's a balance between Aliyah and Allah. It's one and the same. Female, feminine, and masculine, right? All one and the same. So as this deity appeared to me, it appeared to me and spoke to me as a feminine voice. That's what I heard. All right. And it was also telling me that I was being called to this. I'm being called to this. Now, I am a Fulani girl. All right. My ancient ancestry, I'm a Fulani. Those are the ancestors that's been tapping into me lately. This is why all this Muslim and Arabic stuff has been coming to me. Because I'm telling y'all, I've been confused all year long. Like, can y'all explain this to me? Somebody tell me something. Because this is getting a little weird. All right. So anyway, I've been called to this. I don't know what my commission is with the Nation of Islam, but what I am going to say is this. Regardless of what your religious beliefs are, there's going to come a time where a lot of y'all may have to seek refuge from them. This is what is coming to me about this. This is how all of this is breaking down to me. You're going to have to seek refuge from them. They're going to be offering, you're getting an opportunity now. Let he who has an ear listen. And I'm about to get into these scriptures in a minute, but let me do one more energy for this. Okay. All right. I can't make this up, y'all. This is all a spiritual. See, I'm getting emotional again, and I can't help it, because you can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up. The Ace of Swords and the Hierophant. Y'all are going to have to start paying attention, because a lot of people are uninterested in these types of things because their senses are dulled. And the ancestors said a name to me the other day. And if I don't remember on a video, I'm going to get it off my phone and I'm going to post it. But it talked about how people are not interested in things that's going to raise their awareness and raise their consciousness. They're not interested in it because they suffer from a traumatic experience, and their senses are dulled because of this. They have a medical condition. I can't think of the name of it. So I'm going to post it when I get to it. Matter of fact, let me see if I can even look it up on my text, because I'll be having to text this stuff to myself, y'all. I don't be remembering all the messages they give me. I have to, I have to remember this stuff, and I have to text it to myself. Other than that, those messages will come in and go, But this right here is about spiritual guidance. This is also about raising your consciousness and raising your awareness. All right, because Babylon the Great is falling. Babylon the Great has its baby. That time is here. That time is now, and there's definitely going to be a spiritual warfare, and the United Nations are not going to win this warfare. They're not going to win this battle. All right. Okay. And so they said the name to me, Optimation. That's what they said to me. It says it makes people it says that optimization makes people unresponsive and uninterested in reacting to anything that doesn't stimulate trauma, negativity, drama, or tragedy. And so our people suffer greatly from that. So if you're not talking about foolishness, if you're not talking about mindless behavior, if you're not talking about mindless things that really has no serious substance to it, they tend to overlook it. They tend to not take any, they don't react to it. They don't respond to it. Their attention span is very little. You can look at a video that's really talking about something, as people will spend every bit of 30 seconds looking at it. But if they get on a video with somebody doing one of these stupid skits about baby mama and baby daddy and cheaters, they're going to watch that whole video. Or who's the father? They're going to watch that whole video. Why? Because that optimization is activated in them. It's a medical condition, but it's also spiritual. It's something in the brain that has been deactivated and disconnected from your higher level of conscious and wisdom and taking in things that's going to actually help you expand and actually be beneficial. So a lot of people are not going to take heed and refuge. But behold, baby, Babylon the Great is falling, and it is falling quickly. And yes, we are in the end of times where we are not in the end of the world itself. It's the way that we know it. At the end of the world, that's the way that we know it. With the King of Pentacles here, this is solid energy right here. And so a lot of y'all better take y'all stand and get knowledgeable. A lot of y'all better start becoming thinking men and thinking women, because without your thinking abilities, you are going to get left behind, and it is not going to be pretty. All right. The first scripture they threw out at me was Isaiah 26:20. And I'm going to read that for y'all, right? Because this is what all of this was that was coming to me. This whole little thing, that these dreams and all of that. It was complete refuge that I was seeking for, but it was with the NOI. Some of y'all that's going to be y'all protection. The Nation of Islam. All right. Very militant training. Very, very, this like they've been trained. This has been in training for a long time. So ain't nobody, they not going to be defeated. If a lot of y'all don't remember, I remember when I was watching the Malcolm X movie, right? And y'all remember when they took one of them to jail. I can't remember who it was, y'all. And the Nation of Islam went down there, right? They tried to come up against the Nation of Islam. The police and everybody, they tried it. But they was so deep and stern into their, deity that them even white supremacy wouldn't do it. It was police officers quitting their jobs and everything. They was like, we can't do it. That's too much power. They couldn't touch the Nation of Islam. But these people trying to find refuge in these churches, let me tell y'all something. You're not going to find it there, because Jesus is not your savior. Jesus is not your deity, and you don't have ancestral rights to him, no matter what you think. Jesus tried to appear to me too, and I told him to get the hell out of my house. That's not my deity. You don't have any jurisdiction over me. That's not my deity. To each his own. And I'm telling y'all this because these are all energetic principles, and we all know that Jesus is nothing but a carbon copy of Horus and Harut. They took those deities and they switched around the whole energy behind it. Harut and Horus wasn't to hurt people. It was to help people grow. It was about love and connection. Jesus has been used as a god of terrorism, a god of tribulation, a god of persecution towards you. This is what they did. They took your knowledge and your wisdom, and they took it and they used it against you. And then they wrote about it, and they took our teachings and rewrote and retranslated it to what they've been doing to us for thousands and hundreds of years. So here at Isaiah 26 right here, the 9 of Swords came out, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be worrying. People are going to be seriously at a place to where it's going to be a lot of anxiety, and people are really going through a lot of those changes now. All of that is due to these spiritual changes that's going on, these astrological changes. The energies are changing, y'all. Pay attention. Don't get caught sleeping. All right. 2026, it says, 26:20, I'm sorry. It says, go, my people. Enter into your interior rooms and shut your doors behind you. Hide yourself before a moment until the denunciation passes over. Y'all better start opening your eyes, because there's going to be a spiritual warfare, because Babylon the Great is falling. Y'all better get out of Babylon the Great. Y'all better quit thinking that all y'all money and materialistic stuff, that stuff ain't going to have, it's not going to have no value to you when all of this stuff is said and done. You're going to need refuge. You're going to need to know how to plant and grow your own food. All this stuff that y'all been, it's going down. It's just that simple. It's going down, all right? And this is why this moon here and this 10 of Wands is here, because there's going to be a lot of people unprepared. Why? Because they're so caught up in foolishness and mindless behavior and stupidity. They're not paying attention to the signs. They're dull in their hearing. They're dull in their seeing. They're dull in their senses. They're not paying attention. They're living out these illusions. But this is saying those illusions are going to end, baby, because times are changing. So, and for them to bring this to me of all people, come on now. I'm not a Muslim. I've never been Muslim in this lifetime. Now, my grandfather, I grew up listening to some of the teachers when I was little, because, my grandfather was Mason and stuff like that. But I spent my time in Christianity with my grandmother. All right. It just is what it is. And then you have Zephaniah 3. Is that 3:17? Zephaniah 3:17. What does it say? Zephaniah 3:17. Zephaniah, there it is. Zephaniah 3:17. It says, I'm not going to say that name, but it says, your God is in the midst of you as a mighty one, and he will save, and he will save. He will exalt you over you. He will exalt over you with rejoicing, and he will become silent in his love, and he will be joyful over you with happy cries. And the strength came out. And so I feel like this is definitely resorting back to the restoration of our people, y'all, because in these dreams and visions I've been having, the Nation of Islam took over. They took over the kingdoms. It was like power was restored back to its rightful people. Strength. People were more back to a natural medication, natural eating, everything, all the natural first fruits of the earth went back to its natural beginnings. All right. First fruits. And we know that we are the first fruits. So strength. And so I feel like the cosmic forces is going to be completely on our side. But it takes for you to decide which side you going to play on. What side you going to be on. I didn't mean for this video to be so long, y'all, but I didn't expect it to come here and be 10 minutes either, not with all this information. All right. And then you have Ezekiel 7:15 through 27. And that's basically talking about the nations going against one another. But at the end of the day, once that kicks in, those people that went against us, they took all our, matter of fact, I'm going there. I'm sorry. I got to go there. Ezekiel, wait a minute. Ezekiel, where you at, Ezekiel? I had to put, okay, right? Ezekiel 7:15. Ezekiel 7:15 through 27. I'm going to just go over just a little bit of it. I'm not going to stay there long because I got too much other information to share. Okay, Ezekiel 7:15. All right. And it says, well, where did it go? Ezekiel. Is that right? No, Ezekiel 7:15. It's Ezekiel 7. Oh, that's right, 15 through 27. 15. What is going on with this damn page? Hell, is it a page missing? Shit, tell me something. Or is that the right scripture? Did I write it down right? Anyway, look it up, y'all. Because I don't think this is Ezekiel 7. 15 through Ezekiel 4. Oh, I'm sorry. You know why? Because I'm on the wrong. I knew it was something. I might say add up. So I think it's Ezekiel 4. Is it Ezekiel 4:7? Come on now. I ain't got time for this. Ezekiel 4. Nope. Okay. I'm going to pass that because I don't know what I wrote down, y'all. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what I wrote down. But here, Ezekiel, I don't know what I wrote down, y'all. Ezekiel 26, I believe, is where I'm supposed to be. Okay. And it says, and I will make you a shining bare surface of a crag. A drying yard for dragons is what you will become. Never will you be rebuilt, for I myself have spoken, is the utterance of the sovereign. This is what the sovereign has said. At the sound of your downfall, the fatally wounded ones groan. When there is a killing with slaughter in the midst of you, will not the islands rock? All right. And down from their thrones, all the chieftains of the sea will certainly come and remove their sleeveless coats, and they will strip off their own embroidered garments, and they will put on trembling spells. Now, did you hear that? Let me repeat that. And they will put on trembling spells. Upon the earth they will sit down, and they will certainly tremble every moment and stare in amazement at you. And they must raise up over a dead, I can't see that. I can't see what that say. And say to you, how have you perished and used to be inhabited from this? How have you perished that used to be inhabited from the sea? Okay, and so it says who became a strong one in the sea. All right. She and those inhabiting her, those who gave her terror to all the inhabitants of the earth. Now the islands will tremble in the day of your downfall, and the islands that are in the sea must be disturbed owing to your going out. All right. So this is all about this, the nations getting devastated by what's getting ready to happen. Because yes, we were the strong ones. We were the first fruits, okay? And so now all of this is telling you, but you heard what they said, that they're going to be trying to cast spells and all of that. So these people are going to try to return to the oracles to try to fight against this, and it's not going to work, because the oracles are all going to be in fear of trying to fight against this change. They're not going to win because it's over. And when you look at Revelations 18, it's telling you right then and there that all the people that partook in this is going to all go down with this nation. They done got drunk off their wine, which means they've partaken in their racism, their hatred towards these people. They've partaken in all of the negative, the killings, the murders, the lynchings, the killing children, rape, all of this stuff, the stealing of the land, taking the jewelry, taking everything, taking the heritage, taking our names, taking everything they have taken from us, and those that the nations that have partook in all of this, they're all going down, y'all, I promise you. And then you got Revelations 21:6, well, it talks about Gog and Magog. And then Revelations 7 through 9, well, it talks about how the Gog and Magog will be let loose for a while, but they've been loose. Now it's time for them to go back into their cage, the abyss. It's over. It's just as simple as that. It's over. This is definitely the end of the Roman period. It's over with. They did their ruling, okay? And so the Gog and Magog is talking about the table of the nations. They partook in cannibalism and all of that. What do you think eating the body of Christ and drinking the blood is? That's cannibalism. All of that. So they took it from actually doing it to doing it in a spiritual sense. So this is how they're keeping y'all dull. But all of this stuff is boiling down to, it's a wrap. You know, this spiritual warfare is going down. And then at the 6 of coins here, it talks about the first fruits in the book of what is this? 1 Corinthians 15:20. We are those first fruits, y'all. 1 Corinthians 15:20. It says right here. However, now Christ has been raised up from the dead, the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep in death. All right. We've been asleep. We've been mentally asleep. We've been spiritually asleep. But guess what? This 6 of coins is here. We're being restored now. This is why we're going through that awakening. This is that awakening right here. This is that awakening. This is that awakening, y'all, right here. All right. That high priestess energy, that awakening. All right. So y'all better start listening to these oracles that's delivering these proper messages, because they are being sent on a mission to deliver these messages. And then here you got Revelations. What is this? Revelations, is it 18? Where is this? Revelations. Where you at? Why am I here? Okay, Revelations, the 18th chapter, the whole chapter. And then last but not least, Revelations 3:9. I want to say Revelations 3:9. It talks about, yeah, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. No, Revelations 3:9. Let me go back. And then I'm going to close this out, because I've been here long enough. Revelations 3:9. The bottom line is y'all better seek refuge. All right. And regardless of your religious preference, y'all better get to understand what's going on with the NOI and the FOI, because it's going down and they're getting ready to take over. That's all I know. Revelations 3:9. All right. There's getting ready to definitely be a falling of the nations. It says, look, I will give those from the synagogue of Satan who say they are Jews, and yet they are not, but are lying. Look, I will make them come and do obeisance before your feet and make them know I have loved you. Okay? 2:9. Same thing. 2:9 and 3:9. They put it in here repeatedly because they know. They know they lying. They know they've been lying. Okay, that was the Revelations. These pages are sticking together. All right. 2:9. I know your tribulation and poverty. They know they done stole from us. They know that they put us in ghetto. They know what they've done to us. They're very clear. And they know who you are. They know that you're the first fruits. They know you're the original Jew. They know that, and the only reason why you're the original Jew is because you have had possession of all the possessions, the jewelry of the earth, the rubies, the stones, the diamonds, the pearl, everything of that they sell to us now, all these thousands and millions of dollars, that all belongs to you. They've capitalized off of you, what has always been yours. Always been yours. So when people get to arguing about we the original Jews, it ain't got nothing to do with what y'all think it got something to do with. It is a hidden esoteric meaning behind all of that. It is a hidden figure. It has nothing to do with nothing y'all think it do. Just like the 12 tribes of Israel. Y'all think it got something to do with culture. It does, but it don't. It has everything to do with astrologically, who you are astrologically. What do you belong to astrologically? It has nothing to do with anything completely physical. It's more spiritual and esoterically. But if you don't know the hidden figures behind it, you'll be confused. You'll be confused and you'll be right along with the foolishness, right along with the people that's doing all this mindless behavior, arguing over what? With half of the people that's arguing don't even know what's really going on anyway. They don't. And it is what it is. And so they know what they've done to you here at Revelations 2:9 and 3:9. And it says that they know your poverty. They know that, but you are rich and they know it. They wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for you. All right. And the blasphemy by those who say they themselves are Jews, they're blaspheming against you because you the original God. When y'all gonna realize that? You are God. It's you. Through you, all these other nations have come. Let us make man in our image. That us is you, black man, black woman. That's you. Y'all made man in your image, and they took your image and they tarnished it. They watered it down, and they took your spirituality from you, and they took everything from you of value, and they told you was nothing but a damn slave. And yet they are not, but they are a synagogue of Satan. And you know what? I'm gonna leave that there. And then you got the 7 of Pentacles here to where it's telling you to get out. A lot of y'all don't want to get out because you're scared to lose your material possessions. Who cares about that? Because at the end of the day, y'all ain't none of that going to matter when it's time, when it all go down. It's not going to even matter, is it? It's not going to matter when you need a safe place to stay in a war and it's a war breaking out with the justice and the 9 of wands. The justice and the 9 of wands, we are fighting and we taking back what's ours, y'all. And I'm telling y'all how this is going down. It's going down with the Nation of Islam, and I know it is. So y'all better seek refuge with the Nation of Islam. Y'all better start trying to, at least gain some knowledge, gain some type of wisdom to this. You better turn your attention to what's going on. Because while y'all out here arguing over dumb stuff, having these dumb gender wars, they're preparing for shit. They preparing the children. They preparing the land. They preparing for food. They're preparing for shit because they know what's going on. Your lost ass don't. So I advise y'all to start paying more attention to wisdom instead of all this foolishness that's going on, and everything that's getting ready to take place is getting ready to go on right up under your nose, and you ain't going to be paying no attention. Why? Because y'all think people like me is a joke. Y'all think everything about religion is a joke. And like I said, this is not about religion. It's so beyond that. This is astrological changes that's coming down. At the end, when it's all hit, nobody's going to care about your religious belief. Do you want shelter? Do you want to have a room to go in and shut your door and be safe from this devastation that's getting ready to take place, or not? Or are you going to be concerned about the blood of your Christ that ain't did nothing for you in hundreds and thousands of years collectively? What you going to do? My people, let he who has an ear listen. And last but not least, and I'm closing out after this, because this 9 of wands and justice is here. And so I feel like this was Revelation 21. Is this Revelation 21:6? Yes, it is. And it says, and he said unto me, they have come to pass. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To anyone thirsting, I will give from the fountain of the water of life free. Anyone conquering will inherit these things, and I shall be his God, and he will be my son. But as for the cowards and those without faith, and those who are disgusting in their filth, and murderers and fornicators, and those practicing spiritism and idolatry, and all the liars, and the portion of their lake, and their portion will be the lake that burns with fire and sulfur. And this means the second death. And so when it's talking about people practicing the spiritism and the adulterers and the fornicators, it's talking about people that's using this to do evil. That's using this to fornicate the nations against what is natural. I'm telling you. And that lake of fire, we know is symbolic for everlasting destruction. But this is going down. So now will you take refuge and seek refuge in this camp? Go into your doors, into your interior rooms, where you will find and seek refuge. Because behold, all the nations, Babylon the Great, is falling. And we are indeed in the last days of the Western Kingdom. Bye, Romans.